Welcome back to Ask Dr. Clarke. Today's topic, and this is a little deeper topic. We handle all the topics here. But today's topic is adultery or unrepentant adultery a reason for divorce? It's a good question. Tough one, but a good one. Before we get to today's question, I want all of you to know that in my phone advice sessions, I answer the tough questions about marital crisis. And it's most of my practice now, 90% of my practice, phone advice sessions. Folks across the country who are in marital crisis. And in the scenarios, doesn't make any difference what the scenario is, I'm going to have a plan for you. My spouse wants a divorce for bogus reasons. What do I do? I have destroyed my marriage. What do I do to win back my spouse? Classic scenario. Is my spouse a narcissist? I can answer that. Is my spouse emotionally abusive? I'll let you know. My spouse has committed adultery. How do we heal? My spouse is even willing to heal. What do we do? Well, this is what the I Don't Love You Anymore book is for, which we'll touch on today. My spouse won't stop his addiction. What do I do? No matter what your situation is, I have a plan for you. And I'll share that plan in a phone advice session. So simply go to the website and the phone advice session is explained there. David E. Clarke, PhD, Clarke with an E on the end, davideclarkephd.com. Okay, today's question. And it's a thoughtful one, and it's a good one. Dr. Clarke, just a question that has been troubling me. Why do Christian counselors add the descriptive unrepentant before adultery to what Christ said in Matthew 19:9? In fact, I'm one of those that does that, and I'll explain why. His story, my wife has been involved in a year-long emotional and physical affair. Long time. One night is awful. A year? With much deception, I'm sure blame shifting, gaslighting, and neglect of our young child. A lot of damage has been done here, obviously. She asked for a divorce, which I agreed to after offering reconciliation many times over literally months. She just stuffed him, had no interest. Now the grass isn't greener and she wishes to be reconciled. Okay, she's kind of had a change of heart. He says, I am no longer inclined to reconcile. Well, that's his choice. But aren't all adulterers repentant, feigned, or sincere once they realize their new relationship isn't all they fantasized? He says here he actually isn't going to leave his wife, this other guy, this other dirtball. It seems that counselors place a burden on Christian betrayed spouses that Christ did not, saying if it's unrepentant adultery. What am I missing? As opposed to adultery. Okay, here's my answer. The quicker answer is both. Adultery by itself is a biblical reason for divorce. Period, it is. And unrepentant adultery, your spouse will not stop the sexual sin or stops the sin but blames you for it, is a biblical reason for divorce. Okay, let me explain. Adultery of any type, physical, emotional, pornography, a one-night stand, a relationship that lasts months or years, is devastating and destroys a marriage. Boom. A one-night stand is awful. In your case, a year is a long time. Your wife has done a tremendous amount of damage to herself, to you, and to the marriage. Jesus allows you to divorce for adultery, whether or not your spouse repents. I believe that's what the Bible teaches. But Jesus does not command it because he wants the possibility of reconciliation and restoration. And that can happen. In Matthew 19:3-9, Jesus emphasizes the sacredness and permanence of marriage. That's part of that same passage. I believe Jesus always desires a marriage to be restored. This is his desire. This obviously can't happen if the adultery doesn't stop. That's game over. But full and complete restoration can happen if the sinning spouse, the adulterer, in this case it's your wife, the wife, stops the sin, truly repents, and works to get into full spiritual and emotional recovery. I don't know the situation enough from the email to know if she's just blowing smoke or if she's truly repentant. Don't know. I have guided hundreds and hundreds of couples through recovery from adultery. I've seen total restoration through God's power and hard work by the couple. The marriage is better than it ever was before the adultery. Hard to believe. It's true. I've seen it. That's why I wrote the book, I Don't Love You Anymore. It only works, of course, if the sinner totally repents, comes back to God in a genuine way, stops the sin, of course, and does everything to win back the other spouse. The only issue for the first part of the marriage work is the adultery and healing from it. Then you can build the new marriage. And of course, the other spouse must choose to forgive and trust again and be willing to reconcile. It's brutally hard work for both. That's true, but it works. So I'm talking to this man, and those of you who have the same question, make this a matter of prayer and seek God's guidance. Ask God if He wants you to give your wife and the marriage a chance to recover. She will have a lot of personal work to do to get healthy and prove to you she is truly repentant. You don't just jump into marriage counseling because she wants to. Oh no, she's got to be on the right track. Once she's in full recovery and has explained the adultery, no excuse, but she understands why it happened and she's broken, then you can start the couple work to heal and build a new marriage. Again, my book, I Don't Love You Anymore, was written for this purpose. It gives you my specific detailed plan to heal from sexual sin. Again, you don't have to give her a chance. You don't biblically. But if God guides you to do it, you can give her a chance. If you want to help us grow and impact more and more people with biblical, practical guidance for marital crisis, straight talk, honest talk, subscribe to my YouTube channel, tap the like button, and leave a rating and a review. And again, send us your tough questions. I like a tough question. Just email it to me, David E. Clarke, Clarke on the E on the end, David E. Clarke, PhD @gmail.com.